I'm Yanlan Mao, one of the group leaders here at the LMCB. So in my group, we actually work on trying to understand how physical forces, how mechanical forces in the world affect tissue growth and tissue repair. So we actually experience these physical forces throughout our lives, even just simple gravity, and someone pushing you, our heart's beating, but we know very little about how these forces affect how our cells actually grow, how they divide, and especially if after injury, how they actually repair themselves. So my lab is really trying to understand this as an overall research question. Of course, we like to understand, during development and how we grow, how we actually get to our right size and shape, and then how we stop growing. Because of course, if these growth mechanisms fail, then we actually have overgrowths, and this can lead to diseases like cancer. And of course, after repair, to repair and to regenerate our tissues, that's very important as well after injury. Because if you don't do that correctly, first of all, you could have lots of scarring, sometimes even overgrowths on the sites of the original injury, and that is also inhibitory to the function of these normal tissues. So in my lab, we actually use a very varied range of tools. So our experimental model system is the Drosophila fruit fly. And this is a very simple model organism. The epithelia are actually very conserved with lots of humans, so it's a great model system to understand how these cells grow and react to mechanical forces. But we also combine a lot of our work with biophysical techniques, such as atomic force microscopy, used a lot to measure forces in tissues. We also combine it lots with computational modeling, so mathematical models. We build these models on the computer to try to simulate how these tissues actually grow and react to forces. So together, using these kind of 3 different approaches from different disciplines, from maths, from physics, from computer science, and biology and genetics, we really can combine them to understand how forces affect tissue growth. So most of our research is very fundamental in trying to understand the core mechanisms behind how growth is regulated, but we'd really like to also take it towards more clinical aspects if possible. For example, we found a new mode of wound repair that appears to reduce scarring and actually improve the rate of wound healing. So we'd really like to take that towards therapeutics and see if we can actually design new drug targets to improve wound healing rates. So because the lab is very interdisciplinary, the training we have is also very diverse. So for example, students from more biological backgrounds can come and train in the more physical aspects, such as atomic force microscopy or computational modeling and computer coding skills. And conversely, the ones who are more physically trained, such as engineers or computer scientists, they can come and learn more biological skills such as imaging, genetics, molecular biology, and so on.